but of course it would run much better with it. Beautiful. Wow.
I have to give you a close-up of two upgrades that I really like on this bike that I've never seen before, at least not in person, including that exhaust. I'm gonna let you hear it, including some onboard footage, but also I wanna ask you guys, if this was to be, let's say, phase one of this particular bike's upgrades, what would you do in phase two? Or maybe what would you do differently? Let's take a look. Okay, I'm gonna turn it on for you guys in just a second, but right off the bat, you see that this is an RSV4 1100 base model. There's three major mods that we've done to this bike so far. First of all, let's look at the wheels. So did you notice these are the forged lightweight wheels by Aprilia? I believe these are the ones that are found on the 2019 RSV4 1100 factory. I think they fit this bike really well. We actually had the black ones on here first, but they just didn't really stand out enough. I didn't want to do the bright gold or even the red, but yeah, what do you guys think of this particular gold from the 2019 RSV4? Also, the obvious mod, let's get right into the carbon fiber. So this is the Turn1 Racing carbon fiber. I know a lot of you guys have already seen some of this on Facebook, Instagram, but here's a close-up of what it looks like. Obviously, this is the gloss, the high gloss. Ideally, I would have loved to have the winglets in the same carbon fiber, but they were just not available and I didn't want to wait too long. There's the rear hugger, the side covers, but I think what really stands out here, look at this tail. So this whole piece here is carbon fiber. This entire tail cover that comes off. I love it. I'll link the products to this carbon fiber stuff in the description below, but I think it looks really good. I chose this taller dark smoke windscreen just to match the carbon fiber black look. Normally, honestly, I don't prefer dark smoke windscreens because they just don't make sense on the racetrack, but I think on here it's looking pretty good. And I chose the Leo Vinci exhaust. I forget exactly which model this is. I'll link it or describe it below. And I chose the ceramic black with the carbon fiber heat shield just to match, because really what I thought was maybe in the future, this bike's leaving us unfortunately, but I would love to see a carbon fiber side winglet and maybe a carbon fiber frame cover, but let's leave that beautiful swing arm open just to show a little contrast on against those wheels and that ceramic exhaust. All right, guys, now let's turn this thing on. I know you guys want to hear it. Let's do it. Of course, that sounds really good. What aftermarket exhaust does not sound good on an Aprilia V4? But I have to say, for the price of this Leo Vinci slip-on, the quality seems pretty good relative to the price, and the sound is awesome. All right, now let's get on this motorcycle and take it back to the shop. Join me for that. Let's go.
Okay guys, let's take this thing back to the shop, and on the ride I'm going to tell you what I would do as part of phase 2 if this were my motorcycle, and I ask you, what would you do either differently as part of phase 1, and what would you do as part of phase 2? Let's go. Also, congrats to Jeremy in Colorado. Look at that, only 223 miles on this RSV4. Yeah, we're shipping this bike out any day now. Can you guys hear this Leo Vinci exhaust? Watch. Listen. Wow. So good. But like I said, what Aprilia V4 does not sound good? I would compare this exhaust sound, I would put it in between like the Austin Racing, I think it's called the GP1R, and the SC Project SC1R, because it's not as like piercing as, I don't want to say piercing, but it's not as loud, or it doesn't bite as much as the Austin Racing. Believe me though, this one does bite, but it's definitely poppier, louder than the SC1R. I gotta get gas in this bike. Quite the beautiful day in Santa Monica, California, I must say. So, some of you might have noticed, this bike does not have a tune, it does not have a race map, but we decided to, instead of mapping it ourselves, we're gonna send Jeremy an up map, a T800 Plus up map device for the bike so he can map it himself on his phone. But I can tell you, it's running quite fine without it, but of course, it would run much better with it. But you kind of don't really notice a difference until you map a bike like this. So that's definitely happening. So a couple things that I would do as part of phase 2, definitely a carbon fiber front fender, carbon fiber winglets, or you know what, either this carbon fiber or this, but maybe not both. I don't mind the silver. And I would upgrade the suspension, at least get some internals in there, anything like K-Tech, like we did to Johnny's RSV4. I'll link that video here somewhere. Definitely get a rear shock upgrade, K-Tech, O-Lens. Get a real steering stabilizer. You see that thing in there? That's not a real stabilizer. That doesn't work. An O-Lens steering stabilizer, adjustable levers, of course. I love the Rizoma Spy-R mirror. I would keep that. I personally don't need a mirror on the right side. What else? Rear sets, of course. Extreme components. Would not do Spider on this bike, not on a street bike. I do extreme components. Even Bonamici's nice. So many options, to be honest. But I would just go with extreme components. I would add the Evotech Italy frame sliders. At some point, if not now, I will link the products in the description below. Look at this gorgeous day. I don't know what temperature it is outside. It feels like 78, 75 maybe. I like the Tech Spec tank grips that are already on the bike. Those are essential. But take a moment, guys. Look at this gorgeous day here coming down the California incline in Santa Monica. Gorgeous! Beautiful! I better be careful. Did you guys hear that crackling on deceleration? So lovely. What else would I do differently, or what would I add? Look, for less than $200, get a keyless gas cap. What else? Don't mind my shoes. I'm not wearing riding shoes or boots today. I don't know. I think that's it. I love the wheels on this bike. I love the Turn1 Racing carbon fiber. Good quality. Fit pretty well. I mean, look, if Brian Wellman gives it the thumbs up, that's a big deal. So we're loving it. All right, now let's take this beast of a machine through your favorite tunnel, headed back to the shop. Wow. And that was nothing. Nothing. Love it. Not gonna lie, that Leo Vinci sounds good. But what doesn't on an Aprilia V4? Let's be honest. I really want to see what you guys would add or do differently to this bike. Please leave your comments. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.